The courtroom's a place where justice is served, truths are uncovered, and occasionally absolute f***ing nonsense unfolds. But from time to time, the justice system says, yeah, but what if this one were written by a bloke off his tits on antihistamines? And this is due to one reason: courts are bound by process. So if someone's got beef they want to squash with someone, no matter how unhinged the claim is, the court's got to entertain it, baby.
You lie to me, I'll wipe up the floor with you worse than anybody else who's ever tackled you.
So I want us to look at some of the weirdest ones. They're officially filed and documented, which is slightly concerning, but also quite entertaining. Or at least I hope.
Just told you who I thought I was. A god. I just told you.
Someone chose to launch a legal complaint against the fucking creator of the universe, mate.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Ernie Chambers, Nebraska state senator, sharp-minded, big energy, and apparently had a few issues with the divine because in 2007, the man actually filed a lawsuit against God.
Peggy, turn off the plagues, please.
Yes, sir, Mr. Patterson.
Chambers wanted a permanent injunction to stop God from dishing out death, destruction, basically everything you'd find in the Book of Revelation and the small print of your house insurance. Chambers was making a legit point about how easy it is to clog up the legal system. He wanted to prove that courts had to take everything seriously, even this, unless they changed the rules. Obviously, the court tossed it out straight away. You can't serve legal papers to someone who doesn't have a physical address. Okay, who's the defendant? God. You got an address? It's sort of like everywhere and nowhere at the same time. All right, cool. But the point landed. You can sue anyone. Doesn't mean you'll win, but you can get your day in court, even if the other side is the Lord Almighty.
This is my area, and I'm afraid to f*** you because your ass is full of bacteria.
Okay, Texas. Sometime in the 1980s, a bunch of farmers from Gaines County have been accused of trying to play the cotton system. It's a federal case. Stakes are high. The defendant's files are thicker than a Weatherspoon's menu, and presiding over it all was Judge Jerry Buckenmeyer. You'd expect him to hand down his decision with the usual legal terminology, references to subsection this and precedent that, but Buckmeyer decided that the law needed a little bit of banter, just a tiny bit of banter. He wrote the opening of his ruling as a full-blown limerick. There once was some farmers from Gaines who played with rules for some gains. That's a bar. Excuse me again.
I'm addicted to it. I don't know anything else.
The subsidies flowed, but now they're in woe and face financial pains. Reasons why I like this. Number one, it's a limerick. That's the poetry style of dodgy birthday cards and awkward uncles. Number two, it's accurate. The rhyme scheme's good, bang on. You know, he could have half-arsed it with a couplet, but no, he turned up, man. He did his thing. But that's the thing about humour in serious places. It polarizes people. I'm all for it, to be fair. But saying that, if you had like 5 scrolls through my Insta reels, I'd probably be facing some serious questions, so maybe not.
No.
A potato flew around my room before you came.
Okay, next, let's talk about expectations. Specifically, what happens when your expectations are based on an energy drink advert and you decide to drag it into a courtroom. In 2014, Benjamin Carruthers... In 2014, Benjamin Carruthers, a man from New York, filed a lawsuit against Red Bull. His complaint was that the company's slogan, Red Bull gives you wings, was false advertising because, shocker, after years of drinking the stuff, he didn't take flight. Shit! But before you laugh him off as a nutter, here's the twist, it actually went somewhere. He launched a proper class action suit, claiming the brand was misleading customers by exaggerating performance benefits.
Oh, Frank.
Carruthers argued that the branding implied a significant boost in mental and physical performance, but in reality, it wasn't doing anything a strong cup of coffee wouldn't do. Red Bull settled for $640,000, man.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!
The settlement included a clause that the company denied all wrongdoing, but they still paid out, and anyone in the US who had bought Red Bull in the last 10 years could file a complaint and receive either $10 in cash or $15 worth of Red Bull products. In legal terms, this is about puffery. A recognised advertising tactic where vague, exaggerated claims are allowed because no reasonable person would believe them. The court didn't actually rule that Red Bull's slogan was unlawfully puffery because it never got that far. The company just noped out of the whole thing before it could even get anywhere. The result was a wave of people jumping on the claim train, tens of thousands of consumers putting their little forms, hoping for that sweet $10 check or some free cans.
The wind could just be hitting my balls and shit. Hey, bro, watch your jet. Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!
It's the mid-90s, yeah? Pepsi's running this promo with the drinks cans. Concepts basically get points, win prizes, t-shirts, sunglasses, all that shit. And then right at the end, though, they throw in a little curveball. 7 million Pepsi points gets you a Harrier jet. A real one. Military grade, purchase price, 30 million. Most people clocked it for what it was, a daft marketing scheme, 90s clickbait, if you will. But Mr. John Leonard didn't realise that. Oh, no. John saw that and went, right then, we're going shopping, boys.
Okay, let's go.
He worked out that you could actually buy Pepsi points instead of drinking your way to diabetes and raised 700 grand and sent Pepsi a formal request for 1 jet, please. Pepsi's response, a very corporate, it was a joke, John, yeah? And John's response was, I'll see you in court then, shithouse.
You big shithouse bondosser.
In court, Pepsi argued no reasonable person would believe this, and the court did agree. Absolute scenes if they'd have given it him, though. Imagine shipping costs on that fucker. Or flying costs, actually.
I need the toilet, excuse me. I knew they'd come out quicker than they went in.
There are bad days. There are bad days. And then there are days that you go to the toilet for a shit and the toilet explodes. One day, a bloke walked into an American diner and then into the restroom, anticipating nothing more than a little bit of peace. He sits, as you would, and then the toilet explodes on him. Not like a small gurgle backfire, we're talking full-on plumbing failure that launched him into the air. The guy sued the restaurant, obviously, for physical damage and emotional distress. The restaurant, for their part, refused to deny that something went wrong. It did get settled out of court, which is basically code for, they said to him, here, take this money and shut up. Because of what it was, it did get looked into further. Plumbing specialists theorised the pressure building due to faulty pipes or poorly ventilated systems. Essentially, the loo was a ticking time bomb waiting to happen, and Larry was just an unfortunate sod seated on it when it happened. Have you got any idea how it would feel to start trusting toilets again? Every flush is like Russian roulette.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
1 Greggs sausage roll, 1 crumb. That's all it took for someone to get slapped with a £50 fine. Scene of the crime, Hull. The offence was littering via pastry. Some woman's feeding pigeons, just being friendly, and then suddenly 1 flake hits the deck, and before she can even pick it up, council enforcement officer appears like a wizard of bureaucracy.
Ma'am, step away from the pastry, you're under caution.
She tried to fight that, obviously, said it was an accident and it wasn't litter, it was bird food. Court said no.
What? Yes!
From touch pavement, law's the law, bitch. That's a bit harsh. I don't know why I call her a bitch, sorry. But yeah, she lost, and that is a bit mad. Imagine putting that on your CV.
Any prior offences?
Well, there was that one time where I got a bit of pastry on the floor.
It's peak British energy, man. Of all the things you could be arrested for, it's feeding the birds. Somewhere nearby, someone's tipping a washing machine into a canal, but Brenda with a Greggs crumb, she's public enemy number 1, you know what I mean? That means for you and I, if we're feeding pigeons, do it like MI5, zero trace, bit of napkin stealth, or just don't.
You are a rude, terrible person.
Let the birds fend for themselves. They survive Brexit, they'll survive you not getting them a bit of pastry, man. And if it happens to you, own it. Frame the fine. Because honestly, being prosecuted over a sausage roll might be one of the best things that could happen to you. Hello. You catch me in the shed. It's a place that I like to come every day, really, because it's just a nice place for me to come and sort of clear my head and get some ideas for videos and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed what you've seen. I appreciate you watching it all the way to the end. It means a lot to me. Peace. Love you. Bye.